What up, everybody? Quick little live sesh here in the shop. I'm going to go ahead and share this on some socials real quick. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. What up, what up? Nobody in yet? Tunatics Live. What up, what up? All right, here we go. I'm going to share this. Copy link. Share. Live in the shop. Season Hangout. What up, everybody? See a couple people jumping in there. Just going to share this on a couple of my pages real quick, and we'll get rolling. Just a little impromptu live, kind of late in the season, starting to get hot out. So figured I'd jump on here, and I got a ton of footage on my phone and on my cameras I have to edit, and we're going Dune again this weekend with Joe. So I'll have a bunch more footage. I'm going to put something together next week. I'll have another video out of us doing it. But let me share this real quick. Click that. Next. Let me put the link up. Give me just a second, guys. And feel free to jump in the chat and ask some questions for sure. All right, there we go. Live now. Let me just share this on Instagram real quick. And we can get rolling. Done. Put a sticker up. Don't want to do that. What up, Jared? What's happening? I got a bunch of good stuff over there in the corner for my car. So I saw you think you saw my post, but Dog Box is here. So let's story. That's where I need to put this. All right. There we go. Link. Just posting this up real quick, guys. Now. Share this on my stories. All right, here we go. Yeah, I can't wait either. I had to order a transfer gear, PPG transfer gear, and it'll be here tomorrow. So, yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be sick. I'm gonna blow the chat up a little bit bigger here if I can, so I can see your guys' questions. My eyes not are what they used to be. Yeah, that works. How's the audio? Audio good? You guys hear me okay? Cool. I got this cool little ripper behind me that I'm yeah, Shane said you guys were all going to try to test. I got this cool little ripper behind me, little street bike powered car. We're putting a Fuel Tech FT550 in. So I'll do a video on that thing pretty soon too. We're going to take it up to Colorado and tune it up there. So let me see if my links are working. What did you do for a transmission, Jared? I thought you were having transmission issues. Oh, nice. Heck yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yep. Yep. That's working. Buying it from Steven. I didn't know Stevens had an Albans. That's cool. Yeah, that should end your woes as well. I don't want to race the 950 index. H Day just came out with an 850 index class, which I thought was freaking genius. He had 3 Albans transmissions. Wow. Live froze. Looks like it's still going on my end. Still good now? So anyhow, H Day just came out with an 850 index class, which I thought would be freaking awesome because by cert is 850, so you runs right up to the 850 cert guys. So I thought an 850 index class was a great idea for H Day. I hit an H Day event sometime this year. If it comes back to Bakersfield or something, I'll make sure I hit it. But yeah, you guys are testing. I don't think I'm going to be able to test then. I'll probably be testing for Pueblo the night before if they have a testing tune on Friday night, the night before the event. Is it sport class now, 9.0 index? Yes. Yeah, there's no sport class anymore. It's 9.0 index, which I don't like. My car's going to run faster than that, and I don't like lifting. So I'm just going to try and qualify in pro and see where I end up. If I go faster than 850 and somebody protests me, then it is what it is. But, I don't want a 25.5 cage this car because it makes it kind of not a street car. So, it is what it is. It's all good. So, yeah, guys, it's getting real late in the Dune season. It's starting to get super hot early for some stupid reason. But I'll be going out this weekend. I'll be going out Saturday, and we're going to film a bunch of content out there in the Dunes. So, should be awesome. Can't be any worse than me and my slow and pro. Yeah, me too. Me too. So I'll be filming some content this weekend on Saturday in Glamis. It should be awesome. What up, man? What up? It was 93 in Colorado today. Holy crap, dude. That's insane. Yeah, it was in the upper 90s here. Supposed to be over 100 here. And supposed to be over 100 in Glamis this weekend. So we're going to shoot out early Saturday morning. And what's the best sand tires to go with? Come on, man. I'm a road guy. Yep, we're going to go for a morning rip on Saturday. Joe's going to lead us. Dave Unknown's coming with Bobby Boucher. And I think our friend Joey's coming and a couple other cars. So we'll have 4 or 5 long travel cars out there. Best tires to go with the sand. It's got to be a Rogue. I'm a Rogue guy. Dude, Rogue just came out with a for you sand car guys. Check it out. Hang on. So Rogue just came out with I don't know if you guys can see that, with a Mohawk. I just got a set for my car. I haven't tried them yet, but everybody's kind of raving about them. They're pretty sick. So it's basically your standard buff. It's in a 35. They only make them in a 15 right now. They're making a jig to make 17s. So as soon as I get a set of 17s, we'll throw them on Cleat's car. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked to try them out. I've had them for a while now. I just haven't had a chance to put them on the car, but I can't wait to try them. Let's get Joey Bear out there. Yeah, that's the plan. He said he was going to go, and then he said he wasn't, and then I talked to him earlier, so hopefully he's going. I think he had a good time last time we went out. We were ripping. Sure you can keep up with Joe's VW? Yeah, I can keep up with Joe's VW. It's everybody else not being able to keep up with us was the problem. That VW car that Joe built is super fast. It rips. And Joe has the dunes in his blood. Like he just knows the lines and knows how to be fast. And he is He is difficult. If you don't have a high horsepower car, he is very difficult to keep up with. I was worried a whole bolt bin just fell right off my counter. Awesome. So yeah, Joe's hard to keep up with. If you don't have a big horsepower car, you don't know what you're doing, but it is a lot of fun. Once we get into a groove, we are freaking ripping fast. He thought his VW was only making 5 pounds of boost. He turned it all the way up, and it was still making 5 pounds, so he turned it back down a little bit, and it turns out the boost gauge was broken, and it was stuck at 5 pounds. So we'll find out this weekend when we put a new gauge in it how much boost it's making. But a little Volkswagen's pretty fast, man. What up from Michigan? Thanks for joining, hanging out. So yeah, back to the tire question. I'm a Rogue guy. I was an Extreme guy. I liked Extreme tires. This is what I used to run. I run their 1450 15s, and as you guys may or may not know, Extreme is now gone and it's Rogue. It's the same company. Well, it's not the same company. Scott bought out Extreme, changed the name to Rogue, and they're doing this bug deal. Originally, he was just doing the smaller tires, and me and a bunch of other guys were just hounding on him to make a buggy tire, a big tire, like what you see back there. He finally did it, and this is where we're at. And everybody that's ever tried them is super happy with them that I know of. They work really well. What up from Colorado? They work really, really well. I love them. And they're so light. It just takes so much load off the back end of the car and the front, for that matter. It's probably why Cletus's car still survives with as much abuse as he puts that car through, and he is hammered down all the time. And that car has a micro stub in the back. Yes, it does throw some big roofs, definitely. Cletus's car's got a micro stub in the back. Like a VW style, or that's a Chevy style micro stub, but that's probably why he hasn't broken any since we put those tires on there. Joe, seeing all the posts from you ripping the dunes. Yeah, we'll be out there this weekend, man. I'll be out there Saturday. From Finland. What up, man? All the way from Finland. Thanks for checking in, man. That's awesome. Thanks for joining. Last weekend was absolutely freaking epic. It was it was one for the record book. So Brent and Steven and Shane from PFI just happened to be in Colorado, or here in Arizona, doing some family stuff, and invited me to go to the NHRA event with them to go hang out with Clay Milliken, which I know from Glamis. Clay comes out to Glamis a lot. I don't know if you guys know that or not. He's been out quite a few times. He is friends with Dave, who used to own Fullerton Sand Tires. So he hung out with Dave a lot in Glamis. So we went and hung out in his pits, got the full VIP treatment at the NHRA event. Brent got us media passes to where, I don't know, some of you guys might have saw my post. I was literally standing on the starting line when Top Fuel cars were launching. It was absolutely frigging insane. It was the most insane feeling ever. Like 12,000 horsepower launching 5 feet from where you're standing is incredible. Freaking blew me away. So again, a huge shout out to my boy Brent over at PFI and Shane and Steven for hooking that deal up, dude. It was awesome. We had a blast. And then went right from that and drove out to California on Saturday for the OG Honda Street Racers reunion. That was on Saturday night. And then Sunday morning was the IBOC meet, or the Honda meet. Checking in 2 blocks from Joe's shop. What up, man? So you're in between Joe and I. So it was the Honda meet, 20-year anniversary of the Honda meet, which was a pretty awesome deal. Used to be called the IBOC meet, biggest Honda show in the world. And it was pretty epic. And then I turned around and drove back home. So it was a action-packed full weekend, that's for sure. And then this weekend, headed to go duning. Got some special guests flying in on Friday night, so they'll be in my video. I'll save it for that. So that should be pretty awesome. It'll be a good time. We're going to go out there early in the morning, try to beat the heat, get a killer rip in, get a bunch of footage done, and get on back at least back in the truck with the AC running before it gets too hot out there. Who asked me that? Kush something or other. 2 blocks from Joe's shop. Right on. So it's crazy. I actually went to the Honda meet on Sunday and ran into some fans of this channel at the Honda meet that kind of didn't even know I was a Honda guy. They just watched my Dune content, really. A bunch of guys yelling Dune Addict through the crowd. That was pretty awesome. So I met a couple fans out there, shook a couple hands. That was pretty awesome. Well, what do you guys got for me? Throw me some questions. Jump in the chat and ask me anything. Oh, let me scroll down. I think there's more. But wait, there's more. Best sand tires. Best sand tires. All right, here we go. Florida checking in, not bad, but a lot of humidity. Yeah, definitely. 2D LS clutch. You're looking for an alignment tool. You can buy them online. If you're just looking for like a one-off deal where you don't need a tool, you can use a ratchet extension and just kind of eyeball it, get it close. I've done that before. It works. Silo, I didn't know you were in Florida, bro. What up, man? Do I know Type R Dave from SoCal? Yes. Broken input shaft works too. Yep, that's what I use. Anyone looking for a Busa sand car? Moving and need it gone, unfortunately. Send me a PM with some photos of it. Definitely. Yeah, I know Type R Dave. I don't know if you know this, but I am from SoCal. Born and raised there. So most of the guys in the Honda game, I know them all. But there was a bunch of guys out of my shop that we called. There was Type R Matt. There was a bunch of people. We've been street racing together for years. Yeah. I've street raced all over Southern California, Compton, Silmar, San Diego, everywhere, all over the place. So that's where I was Friday night. I was at the Miles from RevHard put on a OG Street Racers reunion, and I was invited to go and hang out with all the OG guys. It was awesome. Yes, Joe definitely hauled ass, dude. He doesn't know. Slow down. Platform to PM. You sent PMs and pics too. You can hit me up on Instagram. It's Dune_addict. Old photos at Type R Harvey. Yeah, I'll post up some old photos. I got some old hole shot stuff from back in the day. I had an 87 CRX on nitrous with a ported head, and then I had an EF with a B16. Most racing was done in my bug, and then later on I had a green EG with a K20 in it on nitrous. That was pretty fast. Did a lot of racing in Compton and Riverside with that. Colorado National Speedway's building. I know. I saw that this morning. I saw a little video clip of that. Cruising the streets of Anacrime. Yep, most definitely, man. Beach and Imperial. Did a lot of racing down there too. You flip the intake on your J35 recommends on an aftermarket linkage mounts. I just make them one-off custom, and I make them come up over the top of the intake. I know somebody used to make one that comes in from underneath, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. What was the bug setup? Which bug? The one I street raced back in the day? It was a 2110 on nitrous, and it had a Rancho Trans in it. Oh yeah, of course I raced Ontario a lot, all over Southern California, man. If there was street racing going on, I was there. That's pretty much what I did from like 1990, 98 or 89 through like the mid to late 90s. Even when I had my shop, I built a lot of cars for guys who street raced. So I would go out while they were racing just to give, support, talk to people and stuff, because those were cars. My most current bug that I had that I sold was a 2332 turbo car on 24 pounds of boost, made 567 to the tire, went 904 at 154. Everyone in the chat, give this guy a heart. Right on. Flipped intake. So yeah, IE Camaro. That sounds super, super familiar. Let's see the Busa behind you. Yeah, I'll bring you guys over there in a few minutes. That's it's a Honda. It's got a Honda motor in it, and it's turbocharged. IE Camaro. Yeah, I'll have to check it out, dude. So, like, I was from the IE. Like, I'm born and raised in Orange County, but my shop was in Elsinore. So I raced Bridge Street, at Salvation Army, like all those spots all around that area. I raced all over that spot, all over. I got busted at Bridge Street a bunch of times. Scroll up and read my post, Rufus. Let me see. Everyone give this guy a chat. He's hard. Yeah, definitely. So, so if you race there, then you're going to know Mike Whittle and a bunch of those guys, Eddie, like, so up more. Sorry. All right. Let me scroll up more. Sorry. I'm jealous seeing all the posts from you ripping the dunes. That's all I see, brother. Up more. Yeah, I loved racing Bridge Street. World record. World record what? I don't know. Super Tuber. Is that you, Brian? I think it is. What up, dude? Hey, I got that gear set for you, dude, whenever you're ready. But he's the one who paved Bridge Street for all the American ass. Oh, that's awesome. I haven't been down there in quite a few years. Actually, when I sold my bug, I delivered it to the guy who bought it in Temecula, and we cut through and came down through Domagoni and stuff. And I was trying to convince my wife to go over to Bridge and let me pull the car off the trailer and make one final hit in it. You hold the world record for the longest nipple hair. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Jesus. Yes. Dude, what do you want to do on that, dude? Just send me a PM or call me tomorrow, dude. I got that dog set for you here. You just got to buy a ring and pinion for it. But I'd love to see you have that thing in your car this season. So, some of us all got to move to the pro class. We got to try to be able to keep up. And we'll talk later. I don't know what axles are in your car, but I have an extra set of 5.9s also. So like I said, I don't know if you're on stock still or what, but hit me up. We'll talk. That's cool that he worked for All American Asphalt and he paved Bridge Street. So like I said, I was trying to convince my wife to let me go make one final hit in the bug with the wheelie bars on it. And oh, cool. Then we'll work something out because I got a set of 5.9s that you can use too. Racing a Camaro against Compton Rob on YouTube. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who you guys are. Yep, definitely. Yep. Spent a lot of time with Bubba and Compton Rob in Compton. So, let's see. Edawando Rickard Racing was doing crazy shit, but met you with my friend Ricky in the B18 on ITBs from Skunk Works when it was Skunk Works. Edawando Wicked Racing. That's, I spent a lot of time there with those guys. Tom Young from Wicked is my engine builder. And I know Ron and Ed Bergenholtz really well. Like I said, I was just at the OG Street Racers reunion with them and everybody. So, yep. Yeah, I know who you are now, bro, for sure. For sure. Yeah, your car's super fast. So I was trying to convince my wife to let me make a pass. How much rubber is still on Bridge? Is it still a good spot there? She was like, no, I was literally, the car was sold and I was delivering it to the new owner. And I wanted to go make a hit on Bridge so bad. Literally drove right there. We were like right there. But I think I even had like a half a gallon of VHT in the back of my friggin' truck too, or in my trailer, one of the two. Kearney Villa Road. Hell yeah, man. Sorrento Valley Road in San Diego. Yeah. So I used to be part of a forum called SanDiegoStreetRacers.com. I actually still have the t-shirt. So like I said, dude, if there was street racing going on in Southern California, I was there. I would be in San Diego on Friday night, in Compton on Saturday night, or Ontario on Saturday night. And then, at 2:00 Sunday morning, I was in Compton. It's all over the place promoting my shop. And, so good. Still has rubber. Oh, nice. I was promoting my shop. A lot of the guys I built cars for were still street racing. So I was going out and supporting them and then trying to pull business in for my shop, via other street racers. I got a lot of guys in that era to switch from B to K. That's for sure. I had a bone stock K motor in my car on an 80 shot of nitrous, and there was nothing that could keep up with me. And I mean nothing. I was killing every Honda out there. It wasn't even close. Guys with built B motors on the bottle, I was beating them by 8-9 cars. It wasn't even close. Oh, probably, man. Probably. That's for sure. Probably cross paths in San Diego. That's for sure. I lived in Lake Elsinore, so I was kind of in the middle. So if I wanted to go to the San Diego races, I could go. And then I had customers out of San Diego also before it was a huge bust to have a Honda in San Diego. And then I had customers out of the Inland Empires, Palm Springs, and then customers out of LA as well. So I was kind of the Honda guy that didn't beef with any other shops. I was friends with Eugene from Pro Street. Bubba tuned all my cars. Like all the other Honda shops in the area, I always helped them out. So that way I could always show up at the street races and, be cool with everybody there. So I was trying to make a living, not make enemies. Let's see here. My friend Ricky, he had a B18 and ITBs from Skunk Works when it was Skunk Works. Yeah, we probably met. That's for sure. What else? Oh, right on. Thanks, man. So yeah, Brian, your car needs to be on a dog box this year for sure, dude. With everything we got coming up, and I don't want you running 9.0 index, dude. Let's run the pro class and show those guys what's up. You definitely make enough power. We'll get you out. You're gonna have to buy it. Like I said, you'll have to buy a ring and pinion for it. like $1,000 or whatever it is from Liberty, but it'll get you a dog box. What kind of, you got a diff in your car already? I'm sure you do. Jake Beatty said hello. What up, Jake? Heck yeah. Jake's an OG. I've known him a long time. Palm Springs street racing. Yeah, his car's not slow, that's for sure. So what else? You guys got some Dune questions? Car questions? Oh boy, and work for. Oh, you work for Jake. Right on. That's cool. M Factory, div, stock gears, stock axles over 900. Yeah, I know that thing kills it. So all right, I'm gonna grab my computer and I'm gonna take you guys over and show you the car. So let's see how well this works. Let's walk over and have a look. So this is my friend, my buddy Mike. It's his son's car. So it's a Honda. I think they call it a Blackbird. So he had an oil cooler, intercooler, and then a little turbo down there. I think it's an 1100 or 1200 cc Honda motor. We got a big intake that goes on up there. And then we flip the dash around. You guys can see the dash, GPS here. And then he's got a bracket. We're putting the 550 right there, right behind the steering wheel. And I'm in the middle of wiring it up. So pretty cool little car. Should friggin' rip. A turbo 1100 cc bike. Also, road tires. And then there's my stuff's over there from a Honda. My Doge box is down there. Over there. Right there. And I got a spare billet bell housing and transfer case bell housing and pro level axles. So that girl's going to go fast this year, boys. Let me jump back down here and plug all this shit back in. Sorry that was jumping. But yeah, that car should be a rocket. It should be super, super fast. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to take it up to Colorado, tune it up at PFI. Ooh, light glare. There we go. How's that? Ooh, that one's bright. How much horsepower will an H-pattern transaxle hold in no prep racing? I don't know, man. It all depends. My stock all-wheel drive transmission I had in my Honda, when it was bone stock, I think my car was making like 750 horsepower. And it held it for a while. I went 10-0 or 990 on a bone stock transmission. 10-0, 10-1, something like that. And then, once it started getting faster, I had to end up putting a gear set in it. So the cool thing is I have that dog box, which is a 4-speed. Oh, transaxle in a bug. That's a good question. I had a 21 or 2017. No. I think I had a 2017. It was 84 by 90.5, whatever that is. I think it's 2017. On nitrous, 48 IDAs on a stock transaxle. And as long as you slip the clutch a bit, it held. It held on the street. But if you start getting the car to stick and hook, you're going to break axles right away. Right away. So, I mean, bare minimum, I'd put a set of hardened axles in it and like a super diff. And then start looking into Weddell gears. Even 930 axles. So if it's a Type 1 transmission with 930s, then those won't break. Those should hold it. You're going to start breaking. I thought you were talking about a swing axle. With 930s, you'll be fine. You're going to start breaking differentials if it's stock. So probably a Type 1 transmission. You'll put a super diff in it for sure. And then I guess you'll just have to see. So like I said, I had like a 2017 in my oval window on nitrous, and it held us. I mean, that transmission was bone stock, 6-volt. I had to grind it out just to get the 12-volt flywheel to fit. And I drag raced all over with that thing with a stock transmission. It ripped. But, I was on like a 165 rear tire, nothing crazy trying to do, wasn't doing crazy launches or anything. Plug my phone back in. What are you guys working on? What do you guys got going on? What are you working on? I'm trying to get my Honda ready for the season. Got a couple races coming up. This car wired, and then I got his dad's car, my buddy Mike, San Limo right now. He's got a San Limo Cruiser. The brake lines it's a brand new car. Brake lines are getting done, and then I got to go wire that car as well. That's what I got going on the next couple of weeks. See what's on my board. And then I don't know if you guys watched any of the Boosted Boys videos. Razzle Dazzle made 500 and change on low boost, and then started having more issues with the wire harness, which is the reason why I want to put that car on a fuel tech. So Kyle's shipping me a fuel tech for it. I'm going to tune this car, and when I do, I'm bringing Razzle Dazzle back here with me so I can put new spindles on it. We're going to powder coat the front arms, put spindles. We're going to do some chassis upgrades to it, just to make Kyle a little bit safer in the car, and get that thing ready for next season. I would love to try to get him out here for a trip this season, but Easter's the last holiday weekend, and it's going to be hot, so I don't foresee that happening this year. I will get the fuel tech in it. We will go back to Colorado and tune it on fuel tech. And then I will, even though it'll be the middle of summer, I will take it out after we do the chassis upgrades and the spindles, and I'll take it out and test it once. I don't want to film any of that. Film it all. But the tuning and the 515 stuff, but any of the Dune content for that car, I'd rather save it for Kyle. It's been, I think it's been 2 years since he's driven that car. I got Cleet's car here. It's on the other side of my door right here. I'm not sure. Cleet's selling cars lately, so I don't know what's going on. I don't think he's going to sell his sand car. I think he's going to keep that, but we'll see. We're going to get it prepped up for next season, and it'll be ready to go for him, just like we always do. And yeah, his car friggin' rips. That thing's super fast. He bought a new house. Who bought a new house? All kinds of people bought new houses. Oh, you're talking about Cleet. No, he's been building that house for a while. Yeah, that house he's been building forever. I think what he's going to do is he's going to buy a late model so he can practice. When I go to PFI, do I drive through Pagosa Springs? I don't know. I take the 25. If that takes me through Pagosa Springs, then yes. What up? What up? Any idea on what's going to happen with Compound and Glamis? Yes, it's owned by Polaris. He didn't own it. He just rented the property, and then he built the building and all that stuff on it, but he just did all the improvements. But he was just on a lease. I don't know if the lease was through Polaris or through his. I don't know. But I know Polaris owns it, and they will probably be taking it over at some point in time, I would imagine. I haven't seen Stephanie or anyone from Polaris this year yet, but I'm sure we'll get a for sure word. But Greg did not own that compound. Well, he didn't own the property. He owned the compound, the building, and the house, and it's all his. But the property was leased. That makes sense. It made sense for him to continue leasing the property because the price, it was cheap. He was on like a 50-year or 99-year lease or something, and it was relatively cheap from what I understand. But it's definitely a loss in our Glamis family, that's for sure. Brian, do I drive through Pagosa Springs in Colorado? I don't know. I come up the 25 through Pueblo and straight through. So maybe, I don't know. So yeah, he's buying a late model. So he can practice at his own track. That would be a no. Oh yeah, so okay, I don't. He's buying a late model so he can practice at the Freedom Factory for the stuff. He's going all in NASCAR and taking it seriously, man, and I think it's rad. I think anybody that we know that would get an opportunity like that would take it in a heartbeat. I know I would. That's friggin' awesome. Good for him, dude. He's a good dude. Oh, cool. Switch panel came. Thanks, babe. Yes. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm responding to a message for a part for my truck. Oh, man. So, anyhow, back to Pagosa or Southwest Colorado. Oh, okay. Hey, so I know a lot of you guys were asking me about what that fake Switch Pros is that I use. And I just had one come in because I'm putting one on that car. They're not doing Switch Pros. They're going to do, it's made by MIC Tuning. I'm going to go ahead and, since it just got delivered to my desk right here, I'm going to open it up and show it to you guys. I get tons and tons of questions about this thing. And I always forget which brand it is, but it's made by MIC Tuning. I buy it on Amazon. This thing is just under $100, and it's pretty awesome. So it's I'm using this one, the smaller one, the eight position switch panel. Very similar to Switch Pros. Comes with all the stickers so you can label everything. And then right off the rip, here's the controller for it. So what I did not know about these, what I learned recently after installing a bunch of them, is I thought the downfall of these is you can't make these momentary, but you actually can. This is programmable, so you could do like ignition on and then use this as a start button. So I did that in Weto's car. I did not do that in Joe's car because I didn't know it was programmable, but I am going to switch it for his. And I'm putting one of these in his truck as well. So pretty cool. The controller's nice and sealed, nice metal unit. I mean, it's pretty heavy duty. It's not you would think that, an electronic part, a cheap one like that from Amazon would be cheap, but these things are, they work really, really well. The cabling's really nice. And so here's what the switch box looks like, or what I call the switch box. Let me pop the lid off here for you guys. So you just run a battery in and a negative, and then you've got all your switch positions. And the cool thing about this, I like to put all of my grounds in the same, sorry for the bumping. I like to put all my grounds in the same location. So if I'm doing a harness or wiring a car, I put the light bar ground on the ECU, like anything I can in the same area, all go to the same ground post under one bolt, and everything's grounded together. That way, if you're ever troubleshooting something, you can go right to the ground post and it's all right there. The cool thing about these versus a Switch Pros is you could put power and ground right in there. You guys could use that too. Yeah, definitely. So say you have a set of lights or an accessory that's power and ground, You run both power and ground right into here, and then you just screw it down. It's fused up to 30 amps. I think this thing will do 80 amps continuous, and they're all assignable. So if you want to put your 30 amp circuit here, all you do is put a 30 amp fuse in that location. No, we don't go through Ghost Springs. Oh yeah, we already figured that out, babe. How many ports on this block? This is for 8. This is 8 switches, but they do make a 16 as well. Pretty cool. It comes with an inline fuse and the power cables. Even comes with a screwdriver, so you can have the right size for it. Now, all the mounting hardware, and then it also has a weatherproof cover to go over the switch panel. And then it's red, green, blue, so you can program the colors on the switch panel. And for under $100, I think after tax and everything and shipping, it's like $103. But can you run it on 16 volt? That's a great question, Brian. I don't know. I'll have to look into. Yes, you can. It goes 12 to 24 volts. So yes, you can run it on 16 volts. So for $100, I've probably installed about 10 of these things so far. And yes, it's not solid state. So like I said, it's not like Switch Pros, which has solid state relays in it. It does have fuses. But, it's $100. So, get what you pay for. You get guys on a budget that want to wire a car. This is a great little setup for it. And, yeah. So, yeah, like I said, there's 8 positions on that block, but they do make one with 16. So that one's a little bit more expensive, but, yeah, definitely a cool product for the price. For $100, cannot go wrong. Absolutely can't beat it. And it keeps things clean. That's right. Everything goes to the same location. So you can run your front headlights, your light bar, all your accessories in the car can run down the same side of the chassis, all in one loom, and go right to that little switch controller. The difference between that and Switch Pros, obviously Switch Pros is solid state and Switch Pros is Bluetooth. So you can start your car from your phone, turn on your lights from your phone. Switch Pros is programmable. You can strobe things. You can do a lot with no Arnold Palmer. No, I had too many today. I've drank about 3 of them today, so I've had enough tea. I won't sleep tonight. Water tonight. God, you guys know too much about me. So yeah, really cool product. I've got some other stuff that I'm doing I did a brand deal with Temu actually for the channel. That was kind of a cool announcement. They had given me a little 2 budgets to work with to buy stuff to do some videos on the channel with, and the budgets weren't much. It was a couple $100 a piece, and I didn't really know what to do. And Kirsty was out here a couple weeks ago visiting my wife, and I asked her what she would do. So I bought a bunch of tools and a bunch of like recovery ropes and stuff like that. And we're just going to do a bunch of giveaways. And it's the video is going to be sponsored by Temu and Mini Sand Cars Temu version. Yeah. So I was cool. It was cool that they reached out to me and wanted to do a collaboration with me. I thought that was pretty awesome. Gave me a little budget to buy some stuff. So I'm gonna pass. I bought some tools for myself, which were pretty awesome, and I shot a video with that stuff that I'm going to put up later. But all the rest of the stuff I got on Temu, like the recovery ropes, and I've got a couple of socket sets and stuff like that, we're going to do a giveaway on the channel. We'll just throw it in some random orders from the website. I am going to take one of the recovery ropes because it is a, it's a spring-loaded like deal. It's not just a straight rope. What the hell do they call that? Anyways, it's a stretchy rope. Kinetic. It's a kinetic rope. They both are. So I'll do you got a few old Honda motors we can give away. What do you got? What kind of Honda motors? We don't give away Honda motors. Let's see what they are first. Maybe we can. Some of us hoard Honda motors over here. I actually had 2 Honda V6s that I just gave to Brent at PFI. I took them out there and dropped them off. Honda is gold. That's right. 3.0 V6. No, I don't want it. The best tuner in Arizona. Wow, that's a good one, guys. I haven't really used a whole bunch of tuners out here. You've got an H22. I'll take that one for sure. H22R. Yeah, I'll take that. I haven't used a whole bunch of tuners out here. I used Tim at Exact Dyno. He tuned my Sand car, and he tuned Dave Unknown's car, Bobby Boucher, and he also tuned my Chevelle. My Sand car I'm pretty happy with. Bobby Boucher we were really happy with. My Chevelle did not come out that great. All 3 cars on Holly. Mine's on a Terminator X Max in the Chevelle with transmission control, and I think that's where the disconnect lied. But car runs good. It runs and drives everything. It's just it could use some cleanup on the bottom end. So purchase one of those off-road buggies that Temu sells. If they gave me a budget to buy that, I would definitely do that. Sand and Street Motorsports in Yuma. I don't know anything about them. Like, depending on what you're wanting to tune, if you want to do a LS in it or a Corvette or something, I would go to Cords. They're probably the best ones that I know of. They tune Cletus's car, and the caliber of cars that they build at Cords, next level, dude. Some of the fastest, if not the fastest, C6s in the world come out of that shop. So, and they're really down to earth and nice guys. Get along with them pretty well. I had an issue with Cletus's car. The battery died in it, and when you have a Holly and the battery voltage drops, sometimes Holly just will go, okay, we're going to erase your tune, and that's what happened to it. The tune got erased. So I just shot them an email real quick, and they just said, "Yep, that's a Holly setup, Holly deal, doing Holly things." So they emailed me the tune. I loaded it in, the car fired right up. So Temu turbo on my 440? Nah, probably not. I'm gonna leave my 440 NA, man. I'm really, really loving it. I can't wait to put it on. And this weekend is gonna be a later, dude. Do I still have the Carmen Ghia? Yes, I do. Yep, Ghia's still here. I'm really loving the NA setup on my 440. The car friggin' rips. It made 580 horsepower on pump gas, and that motor's 12.5 to 1 compression, which means it should not be on pump gas, and it's not good for it. But I'm probably going to put the thing on race gas, or at least a mixture of like a 50-50 split of 110 and 94. I was going to put the car on E85, but I don't. Even though we added onto my fuel tank, I don't think it's big enough. I'll be able to really tell this weekend. I'm going to go fill the tank up. We're going to go off for a pretty heavy rip, and I'll be able to measure how much fuel I've used. I haven't really been paying attention to how much fuel it's been using when I'm doing it. I'm just filling it up and going. I'm going to pay attention to it this time. That way I know, but I don't think my fuel tank, is big enough for the amount of E85 that thing is going to use. So I may just stay on a race gas. It put a buttload of sand in your front seat. Yes, it did. Hey, are you going out this weekend with us or what? You should come out. It's going to be fun. Just a morning rip, and then we're coming back home. I'm picking up a couple people at the airport Friday night, and I think we're going to blast straight from the airport right to Glamis, jump in my trailer, sleep for a few hours, get up, go Dune, and then jam on back to the house. Yeah, it's definitely a ripper. I'll never own – well, I won't say that, but if I ever build another sand car, it definitely will not have an H-pattern transmission in it. That sequential in my sand car is a freaking game changer, dude. I love it. Absolutely love it. I was a big H pattern guy too. But I don't know. So far, so good on that PBS sequential. It rips. Ah, right on. Going to Maui. Lucky bastard. Don't let my wife see that. Jesus. I'll end up going to Maui. Drag's ready for Dome Valley Raceway, April 17th, 18th. Where's Dome Valley Raceway? Where's that at? Too late. You already saw it. Yep. So some of our glamorous people are already headed out on vacations, or they're at the river. Supposed to be super hot this weekend, but from what the weather forecast is saying, looking like Easter weekend is going to be in the mid 70s to low 80s. So it will be prime weather that weekend for Easter. So I probably will be out there working. I don't know. I know Joe's going to be there, so we may be out ripping our cars early in the morning on those days as well. So just depends on how long the weather holds out. I am having a blast in my car, though. I haven't really got to drive it much this season because I had so much other stuff going on, but it friggin' rips. Welton, Arizona, other side of the mountains of Yuma. Oh, okay, cool. What are my thoughts on the Ecotech engines on a supercharger? They rip. They make a ton of torque. Those supercharged Ecotechs are awesome. How often do I drive my Chevelle? Not as much as I want to, if I'm being honest with you. I try to drive it as much as possible. I think the last time I drove it was a month ago. I took it to a car show, or like a month and a half ago. I took it to a car show in Peoria. I had a bunch of mini truck friends that were out here for a big show, and I took it out there and posted up with all my mini truck friends. It's the cool thing about my Chevelle is I can do lowrider stuff in it, I can do mini truck stuff in it, or I can do hot rod stuff in it. So it's on air ride, so I can lean the back down and hang out with the lowriders, or I can slam it and hang out with my mini truck friends, or I can just put it at a decent height and hang out with the lowriders. That was in January. Don't remember. Oh, wow. Okay. So I haven't driven my Chevelle in 2 months. The battery's probably dead. When I lived in Southern California, my Chevelle stayed parked in my driveway. So that way, every time I needed to go to the store or the auto parts store or get something, I always took that car and I always drove it. Had street racing last Saturday at Somerton Airport. They want to do it once a month. Oh, sick. That'd be awesome. So my Chevelle would stay in front of my house. Right now, it's kind of somewhat trapped in my yard because my new toy hauler is kind of in the way to get any cars out of here without going all the way around the back and out the back gate. So, but I try to drive it as much as possible. It is starting to get hot, and I do have all the AC stuff for it now. I've got an aftermarket AC system that I'm going to put in it. I'm going to remove all the factory AC stuff because that old AC shit from the 70s just isn't like what the aftermarket stuff is today. So I got a complete Restomod air set up for it, compressor, the whole deal, and I need to install it. So I will do that before the summer hits because I do definitely love driving that car. I think so. The car had a bucket seat or a bench seat in it, and I switched it to buckets with a console. And the Chevelle brackets sort of bolted up. The bucket brackets sort of bolted up. But I really think that the Chevelle wagon or the Chevelle wagon, the bench seat cars, I think the floors were up higher because the bucket seats fit. I sit super high in the car, and I don't like it. I feel uncomfortable when I'm driving it. Yes, we used to drive it through the yeah. we'd go hit the beach on a Saturday or a Sunday, just hop in the Chevelle and go down PC, go cruise over the mountains down to the beach. And yeah, we drove that car a lot. No, you don't. Actually, Freiberger just bought one. He had one, and then I think he sold it to a buddy. He bought a 71, just same year as my car, which that was pretty cool. Yeah, you don't see too many of them. And through the years of me trying to collect parts for my Chevelle, I found out the reason why you don't see very many of them, and that was due to a crash-up derby in the 80s and 90s. They wanted wagons because they were longer cars, and it wouldn't total the cars. So a lot of Chevelle wagons got destroyed at crash-up derbies, man. It really sucks, but it is what it is. They wouldn't be as desirable as they are now if it wasn't for that. So it's kind of cool. 20 years ago, I bought a car. 25 years ago, whenever I bought that thing, I bought a car that nobody really cared about because it was a station wagon. And now the car is super desirable, which is awesome. A 57 four-door wagon. Nice. That's awesome. Tri-5 wagon. That's my daughter's dream car. She wants a Tri-5 Chevy. They're just so much money. Those and Camaros. I've wanted a Camaro since I was a kid. My brother, one of my older brothers, used to have a Camaro, and I rode in it once when I was a kid. He had a red 67 or 8 Camaro, and I was hooked. What rear drive setup is in the sand car? No, it's a non-reverse box. It's just a sprocket with CVs. Just a bearing carrier, sprocket, CVs. No reverse box. So the one upside to my Chevelle finally is from the nose of the car to the front door, it's pretty much a four-door Chevelle. Actually, to the back doors, it's kind of like a four-door Chevelle. Finding anything from the doors back, good friggin' luck. The C-pillars, the C-pillar plastics, any of that stuff. Best tuner in an AZ is Steve Cole in Tucson. Yeah, that's I heard he was pretty good. But, like all tuners, you're going to hear good things and bad things about him. I guess you'd have to go to every tuner to find out who the best one is. As for tuners, I go with who I'm comfortable with and who I use and treats me right. So which is why now every car that I do gets tuned by PFI Speed. And if I have to drive it to Colorado to get it done, I will do so. Those guys, if you watch any of their videos, there's no quit in them. They won't stop. They don't stop until the car's right. And that, to me, is huge. They're not like a lot of dyno shops that if you go to the dyno and you have a problem with your car on the dyno, they're going to tell you to pull it off the dyno, take it home and fix it, and come back later. Not those guys. They're going to fix it on the spot. My personal car probably would stay on the dyno and get fixed. But they'll move you over to the next bay over or make room for you, fix what you got to fix or whatever, and go right back to it. So it's just personal preference. I don't know Steve Cole personally. I've never had a car tuned by him, so I can't say. I'm uneducated in the Steve Cole-ness of tuning. I know he's tuned some pretty fast cars out there, so yeah. Well, like I said, Corvette stuff, sand car stuff, LS based. If you're in this side of town, I would go to Cords. They are really good at what they do. And that's just because I've had personal experience with them. That's all. Steve Cole might be a great guy and an awesome tuner. I don't know him. I've never had anything tuned there. So, but I do know there are some fast cars. Like I said, there's some fast cars out there tuned by him. So, When am I making a video? Well, I have a bunch of footage now. I'm going to get some more this weekend. The problem was when we went duning, um, I had a camera on the front of my car, but Joe was one car in front of me. He wasn't directly in front of me. So it was hard to isolate video. So this time I'm going to put a camera on the front of my car and on the back of Joe's car, and I'm going to follow Joe. So that way I can get a bunch of good footage of my car and his car ripping. So that's what we're doing on Saturday. So sometime next week I'll have a video out of us doing it. I got a bunch of great footage of me and Joey following Joe, but it doesn't really concentrate on his car very much. So I'm also probably going to put another camera on the front of his car facing him so you can see him too while he's driving. So it should be pretty awesome. We're bringing a lot of cameras, which unfortunately a lot of cameras mean a lot of editing time, a lot to go through. So it may take me a while to get a video out on it. The reason I can get my videos out usually so quick is because I film everything on my phone. And does it get around pretty good? Oh, it friggin' rips, dude. Joe's car is friggin' fast. And I mean, it goes everywhere. That it's pretty good. We had some long travel cars following us, and I think we lost the pack twice. So let me see if I can pull something up and show you guys. Sorry about I bumped the table. Let me see if I can pull something up. I know I pulled some video. Let me see. Let me see what I got. Oh, geez, that was before the NHRA event. Oh, here's a still shot. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Let me throw it up in the camera. That's Joey. And then there's Joe. He was leading us. You see the roost that little car's throwing. Freaking pretty good. I wish there was a way I could inject video in here while I was filming. There's a quick video of my car. I tapped the wing on the sand. That's when I filled his car full of sand. So it was definitely a lot of fun. Here's a still shot of my wing touching the ground. That was pretty gnarly. That actually made me a little bit nervous. That thing went up way higher than I thought it was going to when I got in the gas. So let's see. What other questions? 996 for the LS swap or bug for H pattern manual, no prep racing. I don't know. 996 with an LS swap would be pretty cool, especially for no prep stuff. How long have I worked with Joe? 11 years I've been with Joe. $11 years. We met because I bought a San Limo, and went up to the shop, met him, had him do some work on the car, and then he had some electrical issue come into the shop one day when I was hanging out, and he was going to send him away because he doesn't do electrical. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. So I went and fixed the guy's car. In like 5 minutes, I got the fans working again, and he said, "Hey man, you want a job?" I said, "Sure, why not? I'll hang out here in Glamis and have a spot right here at the shop where I can leave my trailer and, just hang out and have a good time." So, yeah. He used to have somebody else, Wayne from Rockford Fosgate, our friend, used to wire cars for Joe, but he is super, super busy with his kid and motocross racing. So I am now wiring all of our cars. or anything that comes into the big shop that needs wiring. I do. That's kind of what I specialize in. I'm not much of a I'm not much of a fabricator. I can stick two pieces of metal together with a MIG or a TIG, but when it comes to bend and tube and notching and all that kind of stuff, dude, that's Joe is just he's friggin' amazing with that stuff. So that is definitely not my forte. Although when we're there, like when I was working on my own car, a lot of times he'll force you to do it because he wants you to learn. He's I know Joe may seem kind of brash sometimes to some people, but he really wants to see people succeed and learn his craft. It's pretty awesome guy to be around. Oh, 34. Been on an hour. I'm gonna go another. We'll go to 8:30, 20 minutes or so. What else you guys got for me? Did I get my catch can finished? Yeah. Yep. I had to rebaffle my catch can for my Honda today. It was a cheap Amazon one, and like where the oil lines go into it, it wasn't baffled really at all. DJ set tonight. Yeah, that would be awesome, bro. But I was actually looking into starting to do that again. Um, well, those of you that are still on with us, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I was a hip hop and top 40 DJ I've basically been doing it my whole life since I was a teenager. And I used to do, thank you. I appreciate sets on Facebook during COVID because, everybody couldn't go nowhere. And they got really, really stringent on copyright infringement. So the problem is as soon as I start playing music on Facebook or YouTube or anything, they shut me down for copyright. So unfortunately, I can't do it. I know. I wish I could too. I'll try it. I'll have to start I'll start another page, and just not tell anybody, and I'll just try it, and I'll start playing a bunch of music and see what happens. Um, Dude, I used to DJ a party for a guy in Glamis, like a big birthday party for like a whole bunch of people at their camp in Glamis. That was a lot of fun. But I don't hear from that guy much anymore either. I don't know if they still go to Glamis or what, but that was always super fun to do that guy's birthday party. So I have been looking at, my DJ setup is, I'll still use it. It's old, but dude, I have that DJ Rectangle's Vinyl Combat. Yep, I have it. I have all of Rectangle's stuff. He's mostly known for like sampled scratch records and stuff like that, but still a banger. Hell yeah. Yeah, I was looking at like consoles and stuff to put my 1200s in and something like that looks like built in that I could put in my living room because we don't really use our living room very much. There's nothing in it but a jukebox. So I thought about setting up all my stuff in there and doing it. Um, I thought about doing a spot out here in the shop for it, but I don't think I have the room. You need to get your dance on. Yep. Oh, oh, that's awesome, dude. Yeah. Well, I don't have them anymore. Everything I have is all digital now. So I got rid of all my vinyl and just bought a hard drive. I have like every sample record. You know how it goes. You buy a hard drive and it's fully loaded with everything. Um, I should probably get my hard drive updated. There's probably a lot of cool music out there it's weird because I listen to the radio now and I feel like I feel like my parents, I don't know what you guys are listening to these days, but kind of crazy. But we're all turning into our parents, I think. Yeah. So the one thing that I do love digital stuff and the hard drive and um, Phase. I use Phase with my setup, um, and then I use Novation dicers for my samplers and my cue points. I don't use a controller. I still use 1200s because I love the feel of vinyl on my hands. Um, but today's DJs, man, I just I just don't I just can't get with them, dude. Like everybody's a DJ, everybody can crab, everybody can scratch, like, and they just never learned what it was like to go do a gig and have to carry fucking 50 crates of fucking records into somebody's house. You're sweating your ass off before the show even starts. Like it's now you just show up with a controller and a speaker and a fucking USB stick, and you go on your way. And I still do watch a lot of the like battle DJs and a lot of the mixed DJs, and I really don't like pre pre-planned sets. So when I was a DJ throughout my career, I never did the same thing twice, right? So I might have worked at the same places, but it wasn't like I wasn't doing raves every Friday and Saturday, right? So like Thursday night, I worked at the Ocean Club in Glendale. Friday night, I was at Club XS in Glendale, or doing a spot there. Saturday night, I was doing like a rock and bowl, or Saturday day, I would DJ a wedding, and then Saturday night, I was doing rock and bowl, or I worked at the Hop in Long Beach. I worked at all kinds, so I was always doing something different. So my music background and my genres of music are all over the board, and I can mix all of it. I hate pre-prepared DJ sets, because what that tells me is that a DJ doesn't know how to read a crowd. So that's kind of what, we weren't really DJs back then. We were entertainers. We would entertain a crowd. I don't show up with one USB stick and these are the 25 songs I'm playing tonight, and that's all there is to it. We would show up with everything. I would read the crowd and see what they were into, and then go from there. So the DJs today, they don't do that anymore. It's you show up to see Pauly D or one of these big DJs, they already know what they're going to play, and it's right there on their USB stick, because they've a lot of the times put all the songs already in order, pre-recorded a set, practice that set. Like, I get that part of the art, right? But I don't understand that the guys just don't know how to read crowds anymore. Like, guys like that would never make it doing DJing like I did back in the day. There's no friggin' way. No way. That's my rant on DJing. Yep. The other stuff, dude, sync buttons. Sync buttons drive me crazy. And don't get me wrong, I've been guilty of using my sync button. But when you don't have to like come close to the BPM and then use your slider to pitch, use your pitch control, you can just push a button and it's done. It does make it pretty simple and fast, but you don't learn. Once that button stops working, you're screwed. Sorry, I got a rant, my little rant on DJing, because I'm scrolling through Facebook all the time, and I see these DJs or people. A bunch of my friends that I was friends with when I was a DJ, they always send me reels of all these scratch DJs and all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, these guys are cool, but like they have my respect in their own genre of what they do, right? But like as a DJ, they don't have my respect. Um, right. So you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but they didn't come up the way I did. They didn't learn the way I did. They didn't put a needle on an actual record And that's the other thing. So let's say you show up at a show with all your vinyl. That's all you have to work with. From what I understand now, a lot of DJs, if you book a DJ, one of the things that they ask you for is Wi-Fi. You have to make sure they have Wi-Fi, or they'll bring their phone. Um, and I get it, right? They want to be able to play whatever for whoever, whenever, and that's a great thing to some aspect of it, right? But if I brought 8 crates of records, I had to entertain that crowd with what I had. And if I didn't have the newest song that was out, I just didn't have it. I had to make it work. Wi-Fi, hilarious. Yeah, definitely. I had to make it work with what I had. So you pull out the bangers that you already had, and being able to read the crowd and know how they react to stuff, dude. Like, I'll give you a great example, and it's kind of a funny story. I DJ'd a wedding for a bunch of bikers. And when I mean bikers, I'm talking about straight up cut wearing bikers. I'm not going to say what group they were with or whatever, but I DJ'd a wedding. And I did not have Born to Be Wild in my. So I did get it. That I made a phone call, and I had a friend of mine at the time go get me a 45 copy of it and bring it to me. But I had to make do at a biker's wedding without Born to Be Wild by Steppenwolf. How I got through without getting killed that day is freaking beyond me. I think they asked me to play that song like 100 times before I got to it. Believe it or not, I got all those bikers to do the hokey pokey. It was the craziest thing ever. I know there's video of it somewhere. I would love to post it sometime if I could get a VHS copy of it and digitize it, because I am still in contact with the people in the family that I did that wedding for. There's some really good family friends of mine. So, but yeah, I DJ'd a biker's wedding without Born to Be Wild till the very end. Like the last hour, I finally got a 45 copy of it. But it's things like that where you, that's where you learn your craft, man. You learn how to read a crowd. You learn how to, entertain people without Wi-Fi, without being able to pull whatever song anybody asked for. Like, you're just stuck working within what you have, what you brought with you. And, scary. Real bikers party to the edge of death. Yes, they do. Yeah. That was it was pretty amazing. And then I don't know if a lot of you guys know. I don't know if I'm boring you or whatever, but my DJing career took me into a band. I played in a band for several years, DJing and singing in a band. We have 2 albums out. Well, we have one out on all the streaming platforms you can go listen to, and another one that I still have that I haven't mastered yet. But we played all over Hollywood, all over LA, the Roxy, House of Blues, the Whiskey, for several years. I was playing music with the band for probably 4 nights a week. So that was pretty awesome. My DJing career took me into that, which was freaking awesome. It was probably some of the coolest times I ever had DJing was in a band on stage. Going on stage at the Roxy in Hollywood on a Saturday night at 10:30, like the prime spot from 10. We played from like 10:30 to like 11:45 or something like that. It was fucking insane. That was one of the crazy experiences of my life. It was insane. It was so cool. But yeah, my DJing career started, from when I was like 16 all the way up into my late 40s. So sorry to go off on a rant about my DJing career, but thought you guys might be interested. Let's see what else is in the chat here, boys and or girls. Let's do a B2B at Glamis. Hell yeah. I would love for a bunch of people to get together, like in one of the washes on an off weekend or something, and have a party. I'd come out and spin for that. That'd be rad. Yeah, that would be totally rad. I'd have a blast. All right, got a few more minutes here, guys. What else? Got anything else for me? Oh, all my transmission issues with my Honda have been solved. Uh, I got a what's called a dog box. Going to Tower Records in Anaheim, Beach and Lincoln. Hell yeah, I've been there before. Yep, I used to love going record shopping, dude. Used to go to Norwalk Records all the time to get all my 12-inch stuff, but uh, yeah, I've been to that Tower Records before. My wife's probably been there a bunch too. That's kind of her area. So, got a dog box for my Honda. So, that's going to solve all my transmission issues. Car should run mid eights, no problem. Going to get that thing installed in the next week or two before my race season starts. And then, guys, I'm going to try to get out to some other dunes this summer. Maybe Pink Coral or yep, you love going there. Yeah, I figured you'd been there before. Maybe Pink Coral Sand Dunes, Idaho. I'm going to try to get out to some other dunes and go rip in and check out some other areas. Now that my car's together and I have a new toy hauler. Well, new to me toy hauler. I bought a Weekend Warrior SC. I don't know. It's a 37 foot fifth wheel. The front bedroom with a bedroom slide. I'd love to take that thing out this summer, put some miles on my truck and my trailer and my sand car, and take it out to some other dunes and film a bunch of dune content out there in other areas where we're not, and kind of give you guys the experience of that. So I do have some people that I know that have reached out to me about going duning in the off season out there. So maybe taking a trip. SLC 3705. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the vinyl's making a huge comeback, man. Um, yeah, it's crazy. SLC 3705. Yeah, it's headed to Warrior Repair next in the next couple weeks for a tune-up. I'm going to have the whole thing stripped and resealed, and some vents replaced, and a few other things that I don't want to do. I'm just going to tow it to California, have them do it, get it all dialed in for me, and then it should be good to go. I'm going to leave my my FS30, which I have in Glamis. I'm going to leave that there, and then just go traveling with this one. Do all my drag racing out of this trailer as well. Oh, you guys found a vinyl store. That's awesome. So you do all my drag racing out of this trailer, which would be great. No more hotels, which will be awesome. You can load up the refrigerator and have food and everything we need to go when I go drag racing. So should be a fun time. All right, guys, I got a couple more minutes here, and then I'm going to jump off. And what else? What else you got for me? I got a ton of content coming. Those of you that are still here watching, we're having a merch sale right now. I think everything on the duneaddict.com is 30% off, 30 or 35, I'm not sure. And go on there and check that out. If you guys want to support the channel, that's the best way to do it, is go buy merch or subscribe. Click the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. That definitely helps. And I'm going to try to get you guys as much content as I can. I did film a bunch at the NHRA event on Friday, and I filmed some of the Honda stuff. So I was going to make a video of that, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that footage yet. But definitely going duning this weekend. I'm going to film that stuff. And some special guests coming with me, which will be awesome. A lot of you guys ask, never mind. I'm not even going to say. But I got some friends coming with me to go Dune this weekend. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, so like I said, you guys want to support the channel, the best way you can do it, click the subscribe button or go on to theduneaddict.com, buy some merch, t-shirts. I have a bunch of new designs in the works. For now, we still just have this design, these hats. We got a few left in stock and 30% off. I'm trying to blow out all the old inventory and so we can move on to a bunch of new designs, do a new merch drop. And so anyways, like I always say, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe, and we will see you guys out in Glamis.